Hi there, my name is Derek. So on 29th of September, the government has announced a series of property cooling measures. I would say this is the third cooling measure that I've seen during my last 6 years in the real estate industry. And for the previous cooling measures, I have also shared videos on them. You can access them on the link below. For this round, right, the cooling measures, the details, I've actually also shared them in one of my posts. You can also access them. So specifically for this video, I will touch on three key components of the cooling measures. One, the purpose. Second, the direct impact. And third, the potential side effects. All right, so now let's talk about the purpose. The adjustments of the stress test, which is the borrowing limit for both HDB as well as the total debt servicing ratio, is to ensure prudency, not just for housing, but overall borrowing. And I will say that this wasn't unexpected, and in fact, the stress test could be adjusted should interest rate continue to rise. The second purpose of the cooling measure is really to control the rising resale HDB prices, especially for those record-breaking big units. I believe per the data they collected, they would have realized that majority of these record-breaking HDB prices actually came from private property owners who actually sold their place, have deep pockets, and then they are not so concerned about breaking records, but rather to secure a home for their families. So this 15 months wait up period really put a deterrence for them almost immediately. Yeah. So having said that, let's look at the impact. For the purpose of prudency, right, I will say per MAS data, which they have shared previously, and for almost all my clients, I would say most of the consumers do not max out their loan limits. But it's also a very clear sign that MAS wants to show the rest that prudency is something that they are very particular on and they will be keeping a very strong eye on. So I would say the impact on the property market will be more on sentiments than anything else. However, for the purpose of the HDB resale prices, we could really see a screeching halt in terms of the record-breaking prices that we have seen, especially for bigger units. Especially for bigger units like the 5-room, the EAs, or the EMs. And importantly, right, we also can see that if let's say the desired intent isn't met, we are almost certain that the government will kick in with more measures just to ensure that HDB resale prices continue to remain. So having said that, we are also potentially looking at certain side effects from this round's cooling measure. So one, the first side effect is that if let's say the condo owner decided that they would like to bite the bullets and right size, they will have a wait off period of 15 months. So it also means that they might go into the rental market, and it might also impact the already high rental market prices that we are seeing right now. The second impact is that if let's say they are not allowed to, right size from a condo to a HDB, they may look for the other alternative, which is the resale EC prices, which is actually of a lower level than the most of the private condos out there. In fact, I've been hearing a lot of private owners, right? They've actually speak to me. They say, how about we look at resale EC as an alternative? So we could also see potentially a spike in this market segment. All right. The third side effect, we could also potentially see a rise in the four-bedder HDB prices because those above the age of 55 years old, who wanted to right size, right, they can only do so for four-bedders and below. So this could also be a potential side effect as well. The fourth side effect is that if the demand from the home dwellers for the private resale condo continue to remain the same, whereas for supply, right, drop because now these are people who wanted to right size from their condo to HDB decided that to not lease at all their condo, it may create a drop in supply. So a maintenance of demand and a drop in supply, we would likely see that prices for this resale condo to rise, especially so for those private condos that are meant for own stay purpose. So these are the side effects, these are the impact and purpose of this round's cooling measure. So having said that, any property decision needs to be well informed and planned accordingly, especially in the environment of high interest and inflation rates. We are also seeing quite a few tension as well in the geopolitical situation. But importantly, right, you also, at any point of time, you also want to ensure that your family is being well protected and they're comfortable and have a shelter over their heads. So drop me a note if you'd like to speak more and to find out your housing options. With that, signing off. Take care. Bye.